This video is rated T for Tickle Me Pink. What's going on YouTube? It's Tickle Me Pink, your least favorite content creator here. And today, I just want to do some tips and tricks for you guys, some advanced tips and tricks for you guys that I think most of the Tarkov player base does not know about. So, for example, do you know while running forwards, you can actually look completely backwards? That's right, you don't need to turn around. I'm not talking about all looking left, all looking right. You can look completely backwards. Now, if you combine this with the next tip that I'm going to tell you guys about, is you have a directional advantage when looking at someone for audio. That's right, your audio is not just a circle around your character. If we're looking at a bird's eye view, it's actually kind of conal based in the direction you're looking. And that's why you see streamers all the time tilting their head back and forth while they're trying to listen for someone, let's say inside of dorms. It's kind of like echolocation, because when you kind of like ping it in, it's really loud. When it's right in front of you, you know exactly where they're at. So we're gonna be talking about tips like that. Hopefully you guys can appreciate this video, and if you find it useful anywhere along the line, please smash the dislike button and tell me to wrap my car around a pole. Let's hop into the video. So we briefly talked about this in the intro, but yes, you can actually look behind you while you are sprinting forwards or moving forwards. I usually pair this with a sprint. All you need to do is look up a little bit and then alt look and push your mouse up, and your character will cock his head back like some sort of crazy owl, and you can actually look at people. Now you might think, in what instance does this come in handy? And it is a little bit of a niche use, but the times I find myself actually using this is if I am trying to run with an enemy to my back, and you can see when they're actually lining up a shot, kind of posing for a shot, and it's much easier to see the tempo of their shot. Especially M62 from 308 caliber is a extremely common caliber right now. If you can see the pacing of their shots, it's much easier to throw in an A strafe, a D strafe in there, and avoid bullets. Now, if you don't know where you're running to, then this may not come in handy, but this has saved my life, and I do not see anyone ever utilizing this. The other tip I mentioned in the intro was directional audio. So yes, wherever you're looking at, like 12 o'clock, your eyes, wherever they're looking, you're going to get audio louder. It's not just this circle around you that as soon as someone enters their bubble, you can hear it equally. You actually have around a 20 to 30% buff in the area you're looking at. So not only is it good to go ahead and all look and check for players where you think they might be with your eyes, but you're also going to get that audio advantage. You can also go ahead and, let's say you're in a situation where maybe you're in resort and you know someone's around, you can start looking around, sit up on the stairs, go between levels, use level audio, but then also use its directional audio to really like ping in where enemies might be, just off of small things like shuffles, like looting a duffel bag, etc. If you pair this with like deductive reasoning, like, oh, I know there's a duffel bag in this room, it sounds like it's on this level and I'm getting it louder in this direction, you can really dial in where someone is at. And that just eliminates so much what if factor, and you can go in there, put them down, and take their loot. The next clip I want to talk about is camouflage. Like, I know it seems a little dorky for sure, I understand, but seriously, dressing for success in raid can help you out so much. Look at this poor soul right here. He is employing some Viet Cong, stank rat tactics, but he just did not dress for the occasion. Simply going out of your way to throw on a black rig, black clothes, and you're going somewhere to interchange, you're going to reserve in the bunker, or throwing on, the olive drab if you're going into woods, it can seriously save your life. If you pair that with thinking of what backpack you're grabbing for the silhouette of it, because the human eye is developed to actually look for human silhouettes, this can greatly help your chances of not being spotted. And usually in Tarkov, whoever gets the first shot on target wins the engagement. So sure, it might seem silly, but if it's consistently winning you gunfights and getting you out of the raid, then start employing a little bit of camouflage. And I'll do an entire video on this because it's insane. So something that you guys might know is your character will always reload the fullest magazine in his vest, even if they haven't been examined. However, it can be kind of a pain in the ass if you're in an extended firefight and you're really consistently needing to put shots on target and you don't know what magazine you need to start getting bullets into. So if you need to move, but you also need to check your magazines, I mostly see people checking their magazines standing still stationary in their inventory. Just go ahead and utilize the check magazine function and the reload function. Reload while you're sprinting, check magazine. Keep doing this and check your magazines while you're in a situation where you need to move. Maybe you're on a time crunch, maybe you're on a flank, and you can pair these things together and it'll help you out tremendously. Same thing with checking your magazines. If you're putting a limb back on, let's say you are stationary, you're going ahead, you're survival kitting, you're CMSing your limb, you're also checking those magazines. And this will help you out a lot in Tarkov. Anytime you can pair up multiple things at the same time is going to get you in and out of that raid even faster, and there's going to be less variables so you can control the situation. This is something you see Landmark do all the time that no one really ever mentions. And then you'll see here in this situation, I was not really sure if there was a second teammate. I tried my best to scope it out, really check around before looting. But in this instance, I wasn't sure if there was someone maybe 100 meters out that had eyes on the body in a bush or something like that. And if you're in a situation where you think it's clear, but you think there might be a small chance that you get shot, there's nothing wrong with tossing your insured gear in a bush, as a solo, going out there, grabbing that loot, and then coming back to where you left your loot, and then gearing all up and getting ready to come out. Worst case scenario, you get shot by that person who's in the bush. Having all that gear on you probably wasn't going to help, but just get in there quick, alt click everything, shift click everything, grab what you need, and get out. You can use this same methodology in the instance that your teammate goes down. So something that I hate in Escape from Tarkov is when like a team on team engagement happens, or maybe a solo on team engagement happens. You can punish the enemy. Let's say they killed your friend and then they want you to push in a situation. They're playing back, playing very defensive, and you can quickly get to your teammate's body. Well, everyone is usually ready for a team to watch their teammate's body so they can shoot it and make sure no one loots it, protect the insurance. But people are usually not ready for a teammate to run in and fast collect their teammate's gear and then go and toss it. I use this all the time. Anytime someone wants to try and force me into a bad situation and they're not actually going to watch the kill they got on anyone I'm playing, I am on that body, I grab the loot and I take it and hide it, and they get nothing. Super frustrating tactic. It kind of evens out the playing field because it's super frustrating as well when a team will just sit there watching their friend's body from a bush for 30 minutes, The next tip that is so important, it kind of goes hand in hand with looting, and the tip I gave you earlier with speed looting, is when you're actually in a situation you need to loot, go ahead and crawl into a body. Put your head and your thorax into a body. And the reason for this is a dead body, it actually still has collision and it'll soak up bullets for you. And this saves my life all the time when I'm elbow deep doing a cavity search on a dead guy, trying to see if he has a lead X in his gamma container, and someone sees me and tries to pop a shot on me. Usually they can only hit me in the legs or sometimes maybe in the arm. They can't put me down. You see in this clip here, this guy should have had me dead to rights, and I freaked out. I hit an absolutely insane shot. I just shot where I thought he might have, and I dropped his ass instantly. But that saved my life. Utilize this tip, guys. It will seriously save your life. The next tip I can tell you guys is utilizing scavs as bait. So anytime you're in a situation where a scav isn't aggro to you, but there might be enemies in the area, or maybe you want to do some looting, you want like a defensive alarm, leave the scavs up. A lot of people don't know is scavs are mostly attracted to noise. So when you sprint around, they will aggro on you. But if you just walk by them, like they walk at the max speed, they generally won't aggro on you from even like 30, 40 meters away. This isn't the case all the time. You can utilize this to just keep them up, use them as little audio flags, and as soon as they're engaging someone, to get ready to take a shot. Most players cannot help themselves but to shoot every single scav they can. People like to do it because it gives you experience, it bumps your KD, but what I try to do is avoid all the scavs I can unless I need to take them out, and I use them as audio alarms. That's why my PMC KD is so high. For every time I die, I kill 6 PMCs, and a lot of times I'm just using these scavs as little audio flags, and I know exactly where to go, where to position, where the enemy is coming, and they stand no chance. Something that Battlestate Games probably didn't intend to be in the game, but you can really utilize to your advantage is if you find yourself in a situation where you're not sure how many opponents are up, and let's say you died, you're going to see the loadout of the person that killed you. So you can go ahead and call this out, like what gun is it? So they can utilize that information from sound. Maybe what level and his name is. So if he does kill them, he can see the name. But something else you can do is if you hit next to the menu and then back in the menu, you can see if he died. So if your friend threw a grenade and he thinks maybe he died, you can actually check that profile and it will refresh instantly and it'll show him wearing no gear whatsoever. So use that to your advantage and help your teammate out while he's still in red. And just on a little bit of a side note, anytime you die, do not sit there and go like, oh my god, what is he doing? Don't rage. Just call out his position to your teammate as fast as you can and any useful information and shut the fuck up. Too many people just let out a loud rage, a loud outburst. I know it's frustrating, but you're really just causing yourself more harm. You're making it harder for your teammate who's trying his best to get your gear out probably. Alright, in the clip in the background, you're actually going to see 2 tips here. And the first tip is learn over time which doors spawn open, which doors spawn closed. And you can learn this just like how you learn spawns. So let's say you spawn in. Keep a mental note where you spawn in. Other players can spawn there in the future. And then anytime you're kind of first to a door, check, is this open or is it closed? It seems super simple, but you can utilize this to really help you out and not give people information in the raid. In this raid, I see that Techlight's secret is actually open. That means a player has already passed through here. And I know to be cautious with my audio and expect resistance. At the same token, maybe if we were to go ahead and route through this same pathway, it would be wise for us to close the door behind us. Many people are in such a rush in Escape From Tarkov. It really only takes like a second or two to close the door behind you, and then no one has any information that there's someone actually already through there. It is crazy deadly. Think about maybe when you go inside of a crack house and you see the doors are open. If you see they're closed, no one is going to expect that someone is in there still. You can catch so many people off guard with this, and it takes hardly any time. But anyways, I actually find these players that are inside of secret, they're looting all the computers, and what I do to net myself one of the kills out of this squad is I do a little bit of a barrel bait. Now, this requires pretty good placement of your character, and what you're going to do is barely stick the barrel of your gun into the doorway. It's better, the faster you can do it, the better, and with a flash on as well, so they're slightly blind, so you swap in shoulder, whatever direction you want to blind them. And what this is going to do is it's going to get them to shoot. They think you're committed to pushing. They're going to shoot, and you just let them shoot 3-4 rounds. As soon as you hear them let up, you're just going to push in immediately because they're not ready to pull that trigger again. They realize that you're baiting them. You can even go ahead and pair this up and wait for them to reload, and you just go in there and get a free kill. So this is really good to utilize. If someone is sitting in a room, they're really maybe tucked in the close corner from you, and you can't bounce a nading seed to bring M67s, or it's risky to pull a grenade in this situation, this is an excellent tool that I love to utilize to flush these players out. A tip you've probably heard to help you level up fast, maybe on your second wipe or so, is to run up to bodies and just tap F on them, tap search, and you will get like a nice chunk of experience for just doing that. Now, what you might not know is that experience is directly tied to the value of the items that are on that body. So if you get a high number, let's say just a standard scav has 200 experience, well, maybe check his pockets, check his backpack. He may have a valuable key. This is how I've gotten things like mark dream keys off of scavs. I just hit them and they had abnormally high experience, and then I committed to looting them. So use that for your information. Not only is it going to net you a lot of experience, but it's going to net you some money as well. And this compares insanely well with something like a 3BTG stim. So you're looting all of it super fast, doing instant searches, and gaining a lot of experience. I assume you guys have seen my injectors case video already. If you haven't, I'll have that on the top right now. I'll show you guys how to actually unlock elite skills with injectors, do crazy shit like berserk mode. It is a must watch. Most people do not know how to properly utilize all the stims in the game, and seriously, all of them have use. I bring all of them into every raid. I know that sounds obnoxious, but it gives me the advantage in PvP consistently. Alright, if you guys have seen my settings guide, you know that I'm really big on just like reworking all of the keybinds. This is the end of my settings video, and a big part of this is being able to utilize the flashlight flake. Too many people do not utilize flashlights correctly. So when do you want to use a flashlight? You want to use a flashlight the moment you round a corner, because if you use it beforehand, they have a visual indicator of when you're going to actually swing that corner, and they can pre-fire you. If they're pre-firing you, you're not getting a ton of advantage out of that flashlight. But now, if you flick on that flashlight the moment you were swinging around that corner, you are blinding them, you're catching them off guard, as most players are not going to pre-fire you based off audio. They usually will only do it based off of visual cues. So you're blinding them, you're catching them off guard, and it'll be an easy kill. It'll catch them kind of just like a deer in headlights, if you will. If you haven't seen my settings video, I'll have that on the top right now. I'll show you guys how to do some crazy stuff, like how to get your ideal Tarkov volume so you can hear footsteps better, the proper field of view so you have less recoil than other players, and how to do one-to-one aim conversion so you can even port your aim over from your favorite game that maybe you have thousands of hours in and put it right into Tarkov. And this is something that FPS professionals utilize and don't really tell you guys about, so check that video out after this video. One thing that you may not be super pertinent, but if you ever are in the instance where you have a VOG 25 grenade launcher, it's actually super easy to line it up and no one really knows. So the post that comes out on the bottom left that is actually going to be your x-axis. Line that up as your x-axis, and in the end post at the end of your rifle, this normally uses the iron sight end post, that is your y-axis. So line these up, and that is exactly where your grenade launcher is going to land. Not super pertinent all the time, but it will come in handy whenever you decide to use that grenade launcher. Another tip is do not quit shooting. Although it is a great habit in other shooters to go ahead and develop trigger discipline, quit firing at your enemy. You don't have to then go ahead and COD reload and you're ready to catch another enemy. This can seem super valuable in Tarkov because you need to actually go ahead and pack those magazines. Those bullets are expensive. However, this has gotten me killed a lot and something that I need to work on as well. With the changes to plates, there is a small amount of RNG factor. Maybe you bounce around off someone's head. Normally I'll see a situation where maybe I hit someone in the head 2-3 times and they got insanely lucky. They ricocheted all of those shots and I quit shooting and I was the one that died. Just go ahead, hold down that button and make sure they die before you let off. This has gotten me killed more than it honestly should have. I am a noob. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Do you guys have any cool hidden tips that maybe I don't know about? Let me know in the comments down below. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to make it this far in the video. I really appreciate all the support, guys. It means a lot, and I could not do this without you guys. And if you guys want to come swing by, come shoot this shit and get to know me personally, and I get to know you, hop in the Discord. It's the favorite part of my day, just getting to shoot the shit with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Link will be in the description down below. I'll also be streaming live on Twitch, so if you want to come say hi, come talk to me, play some games when you have some questions, that link will be in the description as well. Peace out, guys, and let me leave you guys with some awesome tactical gameplay I had with Wendigoon and Operator Drewski on Interchange.